Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Kirk Franklin recently apologized for his attire on stage in Jamaica during a concert. I ain't got no problem with that, but some of y'all do, so let's talk about it. There were people saying, well, what's wrong with it? He got on shorts and a tank top. What's wrong with that? You know, it's hot out there. Well, fam, there's this thing called when in Rome, you do as the Romans. And apparently, that ain't how they rock in Jamaica. So that may have been cool for Kirk Franklin to be on stage in those shorts and a tank top in the United States. But in Jamaica, they didn't appreciate that. And they let him know. Obviously, not everybody was against him, but there was enough people against him for Kirk to make a public statement. Personally, I didn't see anything wrong with his attire. I thought that if they had a protest about anything, it would be him on stage gyrating and shaking his booty. You know, all of that, I mean, what's going on in these churches, fam? What is going on? You know, I went down the rabbit hole of Kirk Franklin dancing on stage. And Kirk is out of pocket, man. Kirk is out of control. During his apology, Kirk actually said, sometimes I just play too much. He said that, you know, I play like that with my staff and, you know, with my people. You know, we do that type of stuff backstage and we do that type of stuff in private. And I should have done that in private. If I was going to do it, I should have done that in private. I just play too much sometimes. Speaking to him getting on stage, twerking on a woman. I think it was some gospel singer, but he was up against this woman twerking on stage. That's doing too much. You know, that's just doing too much. I got it. Kirk make the kind of music that makes some women want to twerk. I do not understand why they would want to twerk to church music, but some women say they hear that music and they just want to twerk. I would think that if you were really, really into the word, if you're into the word, that type of music, gospel music, would not make you want to twerk. Now, if you're not into the word, well, you know, it doesn't matter. You get a pass because, you know, you're not into gospel music and all of that kind of stuff. And so you just hear a beat and you start twerking. But that's what I'm trying to say, fam, is that there has to be a difference between church folk and regular folk. There has to be a difference. Otherwise, what is the incentive for regular folks, the people of the world, to change? What is the incentive for them to want to join the church if the people in the church are doing everything the people that are not in the church are doing? If the people in the church are twerking, if they're cussing, if they're fighting, behaving uncivilized, if they're having affairs, if they're cheating, if they're being alcoholics, druggies, what is the incentive for the people on the outside of the church to want to join the church? Now, it's a difference if you are all of those things, or you had maybe been experiencing some of those things that I just described before joining the church. But after you join the church, there should be some type of shift. Let's say you're an adulterer. You know, hey, it happens. Sometimes, you know, even the best of us get weak. And sometimes you just get lonely. You know, you get lonely, right? Anyway, you get lonely. And you join the church. There should be some type of transition there if you're going to church every week. If you're studying the word, if you're engaged in the word, there should be some transition over time. Maybe you don't change immediately, but you cannot be in the church 10 years straight still practicing adultery. This is the type of stuff that make people not want to join the church. When they see somebody that they know that are in the world acting a damn fool, and then they go to church every Sunday or whatever, or 3-4 times a week, and they know the type of lifestyle that person lives, but he's still in church every Sunday, every week. She's still in church every week. A person will look at that and be like, I don't want no parts of that. I don't want to be involved in that. When you sit back and you watch people get on stage at these church conventions and other type of church events, and they're twerking and they're bending over, busting it open, they're acting a fool, it makes people say, nah, man, I don't want to join the circus. I'm cool. I'm cool on that. Back to Kirk and his apology. Big shout out to him for apologizing, because he didn't have to, but it does show that he knows that he was out of pocket. And he apologized because he knew that he did offend some people. Maybe not all, but he offended enough people to raise concerns about his intentions and his motives. So he thought it was best to speak on it. So I got to give him credit for doing that. A lot of people, they wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have done that. So he gets credit for that. But Kirk, you got to switch it up, homie. You cannot. And these outfits too, man. I see some of these outfits you've been wearing, Kirk. You need a new stylist, brother. Yeah, I could have sworn I saw you in a pantsuit and some high heels. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.